Hey man, say man, it's your boy KJ, the host of the broadcast podcast SL Sports Language, giving you the livest, latest news on sports and events, and I'll put it to you like this. If you got an opinion on what I say, you can debate me about it. If you disagree on what I say, you can debate me about that too. Hold on. If you don't like what I say or said, debate me about it! Speaking of debate me about it, put it in the comment section. The comment section, yes, like, comment, subscribe. I repeat, like, comment, subscribe. Now here we go. Listen, man, we gotta talk about that man. The man of the hour. The new school bad boy. Play no games. I don't respect you unless you beat me by 40. Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks. Can you say he's the modern day I forgot his name. I think I think it's Patrick Beverly. Something. The dude that went off the handles. He played for he was a journeyman. He played for the Rockets. He played for the Clippers, blase. But what I'm saying is, can he be the new school Rick Mahoney, the new school Bill Laimbeer, the new school Isaiah Thomas, the Detroit Isaiah Thomas? Can he be that new school Dennis Rodman? Is he trying to be a wannabe? Is he trying to be a Lance Stevenson reincarnation? And here's what I'm gonna say, man. So this video is gonna be a majority opinion video and facts. So let's get with the facts. Facts is this: your boy, Dillon Brooks, coming out of Oregon. He got drafted or went to Memphis Grizzlies. He was a part of that, early 2020s, even though we're about to head into the mid 2020s, crazy 2026. He was a part of the early 2020s, around 2020, 21, 22 era, when it came to the 23, when it came to the Dallas, not Dallas, the Memphis Grizzlies. He was around that time. Him, John Morant, Bane, they was becoming an upstarting team, climbing up the ranks. This is post the grit and grind. This is post Tony Allen, Zach Randolph, Zebo, Mike Conley, and Marc Gasol. This is post that era. And listen, man, that team was a pretty good team. The only problem was, some may say they talk too much, they had big mouths, egotistical, and then of course you run into LBJ. This one, LeBron James, you know what I mean, had his team going on and they knocked him out the playoffs. Yeah, man. And then we all know the infamous when Dillon Brooks was like, after they won their first game in the playoffs, he was saying in the media, oh, whatever, LeBron, I don't respect you unless you beat me by 40. And then the next game they get blown out nearly by 40 something. And then ever since then, I wouldn't say Dillon Brooks is a journeyman, but ever since then, Dillon Brooks has his run-ins with the NBA. Here's what I'm saying. I feel like the Memphis Grizzlies did Dillon Brooks dirty. And I'll give you the facts on that. After that season, this is the whole when John Morant, when he was like, oh, I'm good in the West. And then y'all know how it happened to John Morant. He's supposed to be the face of the league, but then gun-toting and him acting stupid and him not knowing his place. And I don't mean that in a demeaning term. I want a young black man that's flourished. I mean, John Morant, he's out on the floor a lot. For one, he's injured, and for two, the way he disrespecting the OGs. But I digress on that. This is about Dillon Brooks. If y'all remember, I got the news too, and I felt bad for Dillon Brooks. After the season, when they had got knocked out, after that whole controversial season, the Memphis Grizzlies, not only did they cut Dillon Brooks, but they came out with a statement saying that, and this was like the headline, they said, we are not going to sign Dillon Brooks the next season under any circumstances. Something to that matter. But they came out. It's one thing to get traded. It's one thing to get cut. And, people lead to speculation. And then it's another for a team to come out and make a statement and say, we're not going to sign Dillon Brooks under any circumstances. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. So, what I'm saying is, when Dillon Brooks did what he did against LeBron and he trash talked him, honestly, I like that Dillon Brooks did it, in my opinion, because we need that. Anybody can be thrown off their throne. Any man can be beaten. Any man can be tested. And, You have to be the enforcer. Dillon Brooks didn't pick and choose to do this too. Like somebody may say, oh, he picking and choosing to do this too for clout. I say Lance Stevenson did that more so. Because Lance Stevenson, or maybe I could be wrong, but when Lance Stevenson go against other teams, he wasn't hazing or he wasn't being an enforcer against other teams compared to those years when Lance Stevenson would go against LeBron James during the Heat days, back when he was with Indiana, during that 2013-2014 era. Blowing in his face and all that other good stuff. Pause. Y'all remember that infamous him blowing in his face. I feel like Lance Stevenson did that because he know the cameras would be on him. You feel me? Now, when it comes to Dillon Brooks was the enforcer when he came to playing against every other team. He will be ready to fight. He will be ready to protect Ja. He will be ready to be like, what's up with it? You got to get through me. He will be ready. So, when he did it against LeBron and made those comments, it was just times 10. Kind of like when it came to Paul Pierce, KG, during that era, during the Boston Celtics era. Even if you want to take it to the Brooklyn Nets era. And Paul Pierce, the truth, would be like, yeah, I want to face LeBron. Or yeah, I got this. He got to go through all of us. He can't beat all of us. Even KG said it. He nice, but he ain't going to beat all of us. So it's one of those situations. So I feel like Dillon Brooks, dude, is a great player. Is he elite? No. He's a some may say he's more like a sometimey player. Some games he's on, some games he's off. He's a dependable player. He's not like an elite all-star player, but he's more of a defensive player. He's more of a disruptor in terms of the other team. My thing about with Dillon Brooks, and the whole video is going to be Dillon Brooks just need to chill. I feel like if you guys remember that game last night, which I can't believe I'm saying remember, but seeing the game last night, I seen the highlights, and then I seen the part where him and LeBron is going at it. So I'm thinking like, man, what is Dillon Brooks doing? But this is just his mindset, like a Dennis Rodman, like I said, Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer. If you know NBA, you know what I'm talking about. It's just to cause disruption. Sometimes you gotta do that, bro. I'm not mad at Dillon doing that, but here's where the part where he needs to chill at. Dillon Brooks, right? The Phoenix Suns, they was behind a couple of points. Then they went on like a run in the fourth quarter. Dillon Brooks putting up buckets. Then he put up technically a game winner. This one, he pretty much technically threw up a game winner. Tell me why Dillon Brooks go pump his chest on LeBron. Bro, that's obviously a tech. And he got ejected because of I think it was a technical before early in the game around the first and second quarter where they was going at it. It was chippy. Why, bro? You technically had a game winner. So you bump your chest and cause a tech against LeBron. You know LeBron's going to cry about it. And now LeBron gets sent to the line. Or somebody gets sent to the line. Now it's 115 to 114 ball game. Bro, you had the game in the back. All I needed was one more stop. And already 12 and 14, ranked 7 in the standings in Western Conference. Like, Dillon Brooks, I feel like, and this is when I'm getting to my opinions, I feel like Dillon Brooks gotta chill. He has to know when to turn it on and off. When you in a clutch moment, bro, I don't think you should do that at all. And I'm gonna make an analogy in comparison to the Detroit Pistons, and we talking about the 80s. In that 88, right? No, 89. No, 88. In that 1988 NBA Finals, and we already know Isaiah Thomas, like I said, Joe Dumars, like I said, what's the brother's name? Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, when they was causing those fouls, right? And then there was one game away. This when Isaiah Thomas was playing injured. There was one game away of being NBA Final champions. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar throws up the skyhook. Bill Laimbeer, he was guarding him. All you heard was a foul. Didn't touch him. But James Worthy said something that I never forget. Shout out to James Worthy in the 30 for 30 documentary. James Worthy had said, of course it was a foul. And he started laughing. Because James Worthy kind of knew it was a foul. James Worthy had said it was a foul that for all the other fouls that wasn't called for. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me rewind that. James Worthy said that was a foul for all the other fouls that wasn't called for. James Worthy said that was a foul for all the other fouls that wasn't called for. Let me repeat it again. James Worthy said that was a foul call for all the other fouls that wasn't called for. What James Worthy saying is, yeah, I'm being funny, like, okay, y'all saying that wasn't a foul. Maybe it wasn't. But it caught up with y'all because just imagine how many other fouls that wasn't called for, that wasn't called. You got to remember, that was the hand checking era. That was the I'm going to get up on you era. That was you going to have to earn your points. Whether you actually make the shot or get sent to the free throw line. That was an elbow to the neck, elbow to the face, elbow to the body, legs. To the point where people thought, bro, you trying to end our careers. So, yeah, that was a foul, bro. In terms of it caught up with them. So what I'm saying is to now into present game to where you can barely touch a player, right? It was already chippy with LeBron or quote unquote King James. And if you watch the highlights, LeBron was complaining nearly the whole game on fouls that should have been called. And it's not making it better that you going against still the face of the league, LeBron James, Dillon Brooks, you poking your chest out, y'all going back and forth, fight, tussling with each other, and you saying things like, oh, I'm no punk. You got to stand up to LeBron. LeBron think you're supposed to worship him. Now, whether he believes that or not, I don't know. LeBron thinks like that. Maybe he does, but I don't see LeBron coming off that like that. But who knows? You already got to take into one account. It was getting chippy in the beginning of the game. Y'all wrestling and tussling with each other, and you already had earlier texts. Now you bump your chest deliberately. And LeBron like, yo, I had to go through this all night. So we call another tech, but now you got to get ejected, I believe. Dude, it was only like a couple of seconds in the game, bro. You couldn't wait to talk your ish after the game. So you caused your team. Low key, this is Dillon Brooks' fault. Now, yeah, you can say they should never let the game, like you know how they always say, oh, it was multiple mistakes on why we lost the game. That may be true. But, bro, when it's a crucial game, bro, we talking about seconds on the line. And this was your game winner. If you would have won that game with that game winner, bro, you would have been a talk of the town. After the game, they would have been saying, yeah, bro, Dillon Brooks the one not to play with. Because let's be honest, Dillon Brooks offensively like that game, he was playing mid. He was playing all right, but he was a defensive player. For you to lose that game based off your emotions and you couldn't hold yourself together for the last seconds, and you giving them free buckets, that's what I mean by you got to know when to turn it on and off. You got to know when to be that defensive stopper or that agitator. Never stop being a defensive stopper, but you got to know when to be an agitator, especially in this modern day time of playing the game, bro. Like, these referees, bro, they not playing with the atmosphere. We're not trying to, this is supposed to be a friendly, family, entertainment, sports game to watch. And you acting like that, but they not feeling that. So, in my opinion, if Dillon Brooks, if you watching this, bro, if any other sports commentator, journalist watching this, and I like your style, but if nobody else is going to say, I'm going to say it. You caused the Suns that game, bro. Y'all could have won that game. You caused them that game. And that's just my opinion. And if you don't get your act together and know when to turn it on and off, and know when to behave on the court, when it comes to know when to be the agitator, know when to be that defensive stopper in crucial moments, dude, you're going to get traded again. You're already not a great offensive player, bro. Offensively, you are right, but you come in clutch sometimes. So, defensively and being an agitator is all you got. So, please, don't trick yourself out of a box, or what they say, trick yourself out of your square. Don't play yourself, bro. But hey, man, it's your boy KJ, the host of the Broadcast Podcast, SO Sports Language, giving you the loudest, latest news on sports and events. And I'll put it to you like this. You got an opinion on what I say or said? Debate me about it. You disagree on what I say or said? Debate me about it. Hold on. If you don't like what I say or said, debate me about it. Speaking of debate me about it, put it in the comment section. Yes, the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, so you get your latest news and information from your boy KJ, the host of the Broadcast Podcast. And I'm out. And thank you for the support.